Rockology Hour Interviews.
Well, welcome to Rockology Hour Interviews. I'm your host, Jake Story, your resident rock connoisseur, and you usually find me hanging around Riverside Radio on Thursday nights at 8 p.m, where I have my Rockology Hour radio show airing live, and we have all the best alternative music, all new music, promoting the best up-and-coming bands, and also going over some old classic bangers. And we have interviews, live performances, and news and all that kind of jazz, all the alternative music goodness you need every week coming at you. And on this show, I have a fantastic interview with the frontman of InMe. The man is Dave McPherson, one of my favorite bands of all time. This was conducted, I'd say, late 2019. It was in the run-up to their Jumpstart Hope album, which came out at the beginning of the year. And yes, we talk a lot about Jumpstart Hope, a lot of quick-fire questions to find out a lot about Dave and InMe and their new members and all that jazz. So it's a nice kind of long, I think it's about 35-minute conversation I had with Dave. This was pulling behind the curtain a little bit. This was the first time I started kind of seriously doing these Skype interviews, and listening back to it, it's a bit cringe on my behalf. But you know, you live and you learn, and I like to think I'm a much better interviewer these days. But this is my first interview where I was interviewing someone who I had been listening to since I was like 12 years old. One of my favorite bands. If you know me, I've been banging on about InMe since, I don't know, year 8? Well, how old are you, year 8? 12? So to come almost full circle and to interview Dave was an absolute trip for me. So this was the kind of first time that happened. So I was very nervous going into this one. And also the Skype machine sound is just, it is what it is. I've EQ'd it to the best of my abilities. But the interview is a good one. I'm happy listening back to it. Dave is on top form, very funny. We talk a lot about Dream Worlds, a lot of his solo stuff as well. So sit back, relax, pour yourself a nice glass of whatever you like. Enjoy the sunshine if you're out and about. It's very nice in the UK at the moment. And listen to my chat with Dave McPherson from InMe. And this comes from Rockology Hour, episode 63. So sit back and enjoy. I am joined on the line by lead singer of the band InMe, Dave McPherson. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, and thank you for pronouncing my name correctly. That doesn't happen often.
Did they say? What do they usually say? Dave McPherson?
Yeah, well, Dave McPherson, Dave McPherson, McPherson instead of Muck. So yes, You nailed it.
I quite like Dave McPherson. It's like
it probably is McDonald's out there.
If McDonald's were doing humans in their burgers, you're having a McPherson.
Dear.
Yeah, which I wouldn't put it past them.
No.
Okay, very lively start to the interview, and I completely blame myself. I am very excited for your new album, Jumpstart Hope, which is coming out. Is it January of 2020?
Yes.
And that's.
It changes sometimes, and I sometimes am out the loop. But I'm pretty sure that's correct.
And that's your 7th studio album, that's a massive achievement. There's 7 albums. That's quite the archive you guys now have.
Yeah, it's hard work for a set list, but this is the best thing we've done, and it's the first one with our new drummer involved, and now John involved on guitars, and I'm just the vocalist.
Yeah.
But yeah, this album's been a long time coming, and we've worked on it quite a lot, so we're very proud.
That's great. I noticed that because I saw you guys at, I think it was the Garage in North London, and you had a very big man playing guitar, like a bodybuilder.
he literally is a bodybuilder. Yeah,
he actually is.
Yeah, he's a personal trainer, but I think as a hobby, he's a bit of a bodybuilder. So yeah, we've got Arnie in the band now.
New Terminator lineup, and So what's that like with the 2 new guys? Because your old drummer Simon, you guys started it together in was it late 90s? Was it?
1996 July was our first rehearsal. So yeah, he'd been in the band 21 years, and it was just time. He had some job sort of commitments, and And then Tom came in, and Tom used to be in a band with Gaz anyway, so and he fit in perfectly. He's amazing. Like, yeah, perfect drummer for InMe, basically.
Nice. So how are you finding moving away from guitar and then moving just solely on vocals?
Well, I still write guitar, but yeah, I love it. I'm not static to a microphone on stage. I'm not worrying about guitar riffs or guitar pedals and all my equipment. So I can just concentrate on being a frontman, which has worked just perfectly for everyone, really. Yeah, I love it.
That's great. Because I was listening to the new tracks, like Blood Orange Lake, I Swear, next song, For Something to Happen. You can still tell that you wrote the songs. They're very Dave McPherson-esque. So you can is that fair to say, or is it more of like a collaboration these days?
I kick things off with demos, and then I just sort of hand the keys to the city to the boys, and I just like them to do things the way they do it. Rather than me being a dictator, and it works really well. Like everyone contributes to the songs, and everyone's on the same page for what we're trying to achieve. It's not like everyone's trying to show off their parts or whatever. It's all about the song itself, and refining it and doing whatever's best for the tune, basically.
Yeah, it's kind of like a soul, like all going to that one goal, just kind of making the best track possible.
Yes, and. The album where the whole band is all happy as a whole with the finished product. So I just called it a product, which I'm not happy with, but yeah.
the new creation, the new masterpiece, which is soon to be released. So how does Jumpstart Hope compare to your previous releases?
I think it's quite hard to describe what an InMe sound is, but it definitely is. Sort of an amalgamation of all the best parts of our previous material, and less technical where it shouldn't be, but it's still very heavy, very energetic. There's every single song sort of stands on its own. It's not like 10 songs that all sound the same. And lots of crazy stuff in there to keep people interested throughout. It's a very cohesive listen, even though each song is its own thing. And and the production itself I think it's the best production we've done.
Is that still with Mike Curtis in CDS, is it?
It is indeed, yeah. He's just getting better and better, going from strength to strength. But we did a lot of recording from home as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, just so we're not pressured in studio time, so we can really nail the guitar tracking and things like that in our own little home studio setups as well. Well, not me obviously, but Greg and Gaz, and then we just did the drums and the vocals in the studio, and then Greg did a load of backing vocals at home on his own. But and then I think Tom actually mastered it. Tom Dalton, the drummer. So
Oh, nice. Doesn't just hit things then. Yeah.
He does not just hit things. He directed all of our music videos so far for this album.
Oh, cool.
Writes the treatments, and he does all our social media. He's a handy person. He's an airline pilot by trade, so
really
he's pretty clever and organised. It's quite enviable for me because I'm a bit of a mess.
Well, I guess that's really handy having two kind of younger guys in the band who kind of more kind of grew up with social media and kind of know exactly what it's about and kind of used to it. Is that kind of an area they've kind of been thrown to, or are you running the InMe channel?
I don't even know if John knows how to turn on a computer. But, and I love him to bits, and he's amazing. But I don't think. I don't know if that's a case, but it's more that just Tom's on the case when it comes to replying to everyone and planning how to promote our stuff in a cohesive way, and just taking care of business. And it's good because I've sort of been out of action for a couple of years, and it's nice to have the load taken off.
Yeah, well, it's really great to have you back, Dave. We missed you, even though it wasn't that long. We missed you. We kind of, InMe fans, I guess, have been used to you being so prolific. Am I even right in thinking you wrote one song every day for an entire year?
I did do that in 2013, and then I tried to do it again, I think, last year, and failed. but I will catch up on that. But yeah, it was a cool idea to explore songwriting as well, and I did it. It might be quite a bit too much for some people, but yeah.
That's like impressive. That's like the people you hear the guys like, I swam around the UK and it took me, like I swam every day for like 6 months. But it's like,
I think I'd rather write a song a day.
Yeah. He almost lost his tongue, but that's a different story. But so yeah, it's great to have you back. And I see you at the moment. Are you on a solo tour? Your acoustic stuff, is that right?
Yeah, it's just going to be an ongoing sort of sporadic solo thing where I played only InMe songs, and I did 4 shows last Wednesday till the weekend, and it was really, really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know most of the songs already, so there wasn't a lot to learn.
Yeah, it just dust this off, and that's awesome, man. Actually, I remember seeing you in the Crawford Arms, I think in Milton Keynes, quite. Must have been a few years ago now. And it was so much fun. You did "Boom Boom Shake the Room," which was quite an awesome cover.
Yes, I still do that, but it's on the substitute bench for this tour because it's InMe songs only. So, but yeah, I had a really good time, and I was with some really good people. It was good.
Yeah. I'm starting doing this quick fire round now, where I kind of just throw just random questions. Some of them musical, some of them not.
Okay.
Are you ready? Are you primed?
I'm sitting myself down. Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to strap yourself in. Okay, it's pretty tough.
I've got to make sure my brain doesn't say something stupid.
It's right. I could always edit it out. The beauty of it not being live. Okay, so quick fire round. If you could collaborate with any artist in the world, who would it be?
Dead or alive?
Yeah, whatever.
Well, I mean, Freddie Mercury would have been a good one. Mark Hollis from a band called Talk Talk. He passed away last year, I think. And he was a big hero, my musical hero. David Gilmour from Pink Floyd would be cool. Get him doing some jams over my songs.
Yeah.
And trying to think of a female vocalist. Imogen Heap would be fun. And they're both bigger. But yeah, Sia or Imogen Heap, that lady Natasha from Bat for Lashes. That would be cool.
Oh, very cool. Star Wars or Star Trek?
That's not fair. Can I say Star Wars for movies, generally speaking, and Star Trek for television?
I'll have to check the rule book. Let me have a look. Yes, that's accepted. Okay.
Or maybe they should just do a cross-universe thing.
Yeah. Could, Star Tours, maybe.
That's all I can think of, either.
I think Richard Branson's working on that, actually, at the moment.
Yeah, I suppose, Han Solo arguing with Captain Kirk could be pretty cool.
Yeah, okay. I'm actually a rooftop bus, like
Spock and Chewbacca could have a good. They
have a good chat, wouldn't they?
Yeah, good meet up.
Desert Island Disc. Any record?
Oh dear. Trying to think. I'd probably do like a film score thing, like John Williams' entire film scores or something.
Okay.
I don't know if that's cheating, but it's really hard for me. Talk Talk. The Colour of Spring.
Okay.
I'll go with. I've got a tattoo, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
got to go with that. Yeah.
Alcoholic drink of choice.
It's Guinness.
Guinness, fair enough.
Yeah, because although alcohol, it's pretty bad, and I've had some problems with it. Guinness is still alcohol aside, it's pretty good for you, and it's pretty wholesome. And I find you get different levels of drunkenness, and like there's the famous thing that Stella makes people angry or whatever, but Guinness is a mellow drunk. I find a happy, which is why all the Irish had such a good time.
Yeah, very good, the Irish dinner. What was the last track you listened to?
It's called Second Best by a band called Issues, and they've just released an album, and It's sort of like Craig David mixed with like the Sugar or something. It's pretty interesting. And I think their latest album, they've just nailed the songwriting, and all the melodies are so, you can tell they've really, really gone to town on every single little detail. And that's the last song. I love it. I'm addicted to it. I wish I wrote it.
I'll be sure to check that one out.
Do.
So do you prefer a night in with a movie, or do you go a night out with your mates, or to the pub or whatever?
I'm a night in these days, I think. Yeah. I like when I tour, I play the gig, for example, have a really good time. But the gig is the party for me. Afterwards is never going to compete with people loving us and us playing the music we love playing. So after the gig, I usually sort of wind down, and then I'm probably the first in bed in the hotel. I don't party as much because I have to take care of my voice as well. And if I go and sit in a room on my own watching YouTube junk, I rest my voice for 14 hours basically, where I don't talk. Whereas if I go to a club, I'm shouting and drinking too much, smoking, blah blah blah.
Fair play. Yeah, no, I'm finding the same these days as well.
Especially, it's now like just about November, so yeah, definitely staying in.
Yeah, get down the YouTube rabbit hole. Watch Dave.
My long johns are in the wash, so I don't like cold legs.
Who does? So I wrote this question, hopefully with Gaz in mind. Right. So have you and Gaz thought about leaving InMe and starting your own Chaz and Dave cover band called Gaz and Dave?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
I only know about two of their songs, like the Rabbit one, and You Got a Beautiful, or whatever it is. I'm not going to pretend to know the lyrics. I like them, and I watched them at Sonosphere, and sadly
they play Sonosphere.
One of the Chaz and Daves is no longer with us, but it was Sonosphere, and it was really cool. Everyone had their umbrellas up because it was England, but I don't think so. No, I don't know if we'd rather just play our music. No offense.
Sorry, Gaz and Dave, it's not happening. They're big Spurs fans, so that's how I kind of listen to them.
I don't do football either, so
are you a sporty guy? Do you follow rugby, or are you not really?
Nothing. No sports whatsoever, to be honest. Never have really.
Yeah.
I supported a team for a while, but that was purely because my girlfriend at the time's dad was a fan of the team, so if they won, then that was better for everyone, really, because he'd be cheery at the dinner table.
I think my girlfriend was that with my family, because we're all big Spurs fans, and she's like, yeah, cool, great. And then if we lose, it's just like, oh, this is the worst thing ever. It's really awkward around the dinner table.
But and it was a nice bonding. It's a nice way to bond, and if it's on in a pub or whatever, I will watch. But then sometimes I do find myself pretending.
Yeah.
I don't cheer, some people get really involved, or I don't shout at the telly, but I do be like, oh, you could have got that one. Then I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you have that distance of like they're just chasing a ball around a field.
I envy their bank balances, that's for sure. I'm like, try harder. If I was getting paid that, I'd be zippity-doo-dahing all over the blimmin' thing.
The pig. That's a good way to describe it. Oh, it's zippity-doo-dah over there. What's going on? Lazy.
Yeah, Roadrunner in about, Tasmanian Devil, all the animated creatures.
That actually is quite a good segue to my next question.
Okay.
Cartoons or musicals?
Cartoons, easily. I really do not like musicals.
Really?
And I've got nothing against people involved and the effort and the direction and the acting and all the different skills they require to be in place and do all the dance moves and the songs, but I really don't like musicals. There's something overly dramatic about it that makes me cringe. And cartoons are cool because you can do more than you can in live action, even with CGI and that. So, and I mean, even these days does like the new Lion King, for example, does that count as a animation? Because it's not real.
Yeah, but it looks it.
Yeah. But it's not even real locations, so I don't know if that counts. But yeah, I loved The Simpsons and Futurama and South Park, Family Guy.
South Park on Netflix is just kind of taken over my life a little bit.
Yeah, I find it a little bit too cynical sometimes. Depends on my mood. Yeah, but The Simpsons and Futurama I always had time for.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for The Simpsons to come on Netflix or something like that, because the reason I was still watching it is because it was on Sky One and the adverts were like 10 minutes long. You're like, oh, come on.
I'm kind of amazed in this day and age that where everyone's a bit more careful. How Simpsons was a kid's cartoon. Yeah. It's pretty nuts. It's about a dysfunctional dad, really, that drinks beer non-stop and is rubbish at everything. And Itchy and Scratchy was like the most violent thing in the world, and it was like 6 p.m. we'd watch this and just a mouse figuring out how to cut off a cat's head.
It's weird how much they predicted. Didn't they predict Donald Trump become president or something like that? They predicted so many things.
Yeah. They got some pretty clever writers in the boardroom.
Yeah.
And I think Arnie maybe as well was predicted to go into politics.
Fair enough. Okay, so favourite non-rock or metal artist?
Favourite non-rock or metal artist? I'm not going to be boring and just say the Mark Hollis talk thing again. George Michael.
Yeah,
he was my boy.
Yeah.
I know like a lot of guys and girls died in that year. The great tragic celebrity year where we lost loads of icons. But yeah, George Michael was the one that sort of brought a tear to my eye, I think, the most. Because I grew up on those songs, and other than Counting Crows, I think he's the artist I cover the most at like weddings and acoustic pub shows and things.
Yeah.
So yeah,
he's still so young as well. It's very, very sad.
Yeah, I just like the fact that he did that first pop album, which was his solo thing after Wham.
Yeah.
And it was amazing, like just great songs. And then he just come out with this really weird progressive jazz album, Listen Without Prejudice. And yeah, there was like 8-minute songs on there that just really, really jazzy and progressive stuff. And yeah, he didn't have to do that. He could have just done another pop thing like Wham, but no, he was an artist.
Yeah, true artist. And I think he wrote Careless Whisper when he was very young, like 17.
16 apparently. And I heard that he shared the royalties with his fellow bandmates, which he didn't have to apparently, which is pretty cool.
Are there any up and coming bands you've seen on the kind of the rock music scene which we should all go check out and watch?
Trying to think, who did we have recently? I'm terrible at actually like.
Was it Viridian you guys had on? Was that recently?
Viridian, yeah, they're on the same management as us as well. They're a really cool band.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who we had. We had Oxygen Thief on the last tour, who've toured with us before. They're an amazing band. They're sort of like Reuben, but I don't know, like sort of like a happy Reuben, like melodically they sound quite happy, but there's some really, really brutal, cool, disjointed riffs and stuff. And then we had a band called Le Broc on the same tour, and they don't have a drummer, it's just the two of them, but it's sort of like 1980s sounding, really shameless pop songs, but really good melodies. And yeah, I was dubious. I was like, what have we done? That's the first band we've ever had tour with us where there's not even a drummer, it's all just synth stuff. And yeah, really liked it. I don't like doing lineups for the band as well where everyone's the same sort of genre or whatever.
Yeah,
I like mixing the night up a bit.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, I'll check those guys out. Your personal favorite InMe track? Your tough one.
I think it's Blood Orange Lake. Which is why I'm so glad it's the opening track.
Yeah.
But there's a couple on the new one. There's a song called The Leopard, which is really, really like low-key, quite a subtle song, just builds dynamically, naturally, and I love playing that one.
Yeah.
And then overall from sort of the older stuff, there's a song called Safe in a Room on an album called White Butterfly, and that one has stood the test of time for me. That's to me is if you were to sum up InMe's sound with the older stuff, you'd play that song.
Yeah, that's a great track. I love that track. Was that about a friend who almost committed suicide? Is that right?
Yes,
yeah.
Indeed. And I was there to stop.
Oh wow.
To stop it. And he's a very close friend as well. All my life, like a brother basically. So to sing that one every night doesn't really get old.
Nice. And you're still close to this day?
Yeah. Very
That's
close.
amazing.
I mean, we're not close in terms of location, but, so we don't get to see each other much. But when we see each other, it's just we met like we were in the first class at school when we were 4 years old. So
yeah,
that's great. He's been in a band with my brother as well, and we just used to hang out every single day.
Yeah. No, was that a Sentiment? Was it? Was that
no? It's a band that I'm not going to mention, or my brother might get annoyed if someone tries to search for anything. Not that I think it's anything out there, because it was before the internet. But I liked them. They were just like Nirvana, basically. Yeah. But an English Essex sort of rip-off version.
Yeah. Well, you guys had kind of started in that kind of grungy, 1996, 97 era. Is that kind of, was Nirvana a big influence on you guys when you first started?
Literally, probably one of the main reasons we started the band.
Yeah.
But we sort of still developed our own sound. But I tried to do a few songs when we first started out, literally just ripping Nirvana off. And it just didn't work. Like,
most people did that. Yeah.
I'm not Kurt, and I was about 13, and I didn't really have much to sing about.
Yeah.
Other than, I don't know, being annoyed that I was grounded or I had some homework to do, or a bully at school.
Someone stole your rough book. Livid.
Oh God, the rough book. I remember that. That was the good book.
Yeah. Was yours orange as well? I had an orange rough book.
No, mine was a dark blue. I even remember.
The homework diary as well.
I think that was so that you couldn't write all over it abusive things as a child. But Nirvana, big time. And just being a free piece as well. And I don't mean this bad, because I think Nirvana were great musicians. But Kurt did sort of show that you didn't have to, he didn't have to be like he just played sort of whatever he felt, what naturally came out. And then we did that as well. And you could make a really cool 3.5 minute pop song that was also really heavy and energetic and visceral and intense, but just playing some bar chords and singing some cool melodies over it. So Nirvana, big time.
I've been saying this for the last year or so, but I think grunge is having a massive comeback. Like, it's that 20-year cycle where it's just kind of loads of up and coming bands and kind of like well-established bands are clearly in that kind of grungy mold. So.
Well, I mean, I think that's also a production thing. Like, people want to hear less sheen. They want to hear more, but they want to hear more of the energy and the emotion and the live vibe.
Yeah.
Especially like drums. I think people are much more going for. I can just hear now when I listen to something, and I'm like, that's fake drums, and it takes something away from the power of music, and it's the same, like, people edit guitars a bit too much and stuff. And I like the there's a band called, I'm sure you know, Black Peaks.
Yep.
And that is like the perfect balance for me of like really, really good sounding, proficiently played recordings, but you still get a vibe, like a live vibe.
Yeah. Have you heard their new track, King?
I have been delaying it, and that's just my procrastination. But I just like to be in the right frame of mind and to sit down on my own and properly pay attention to it. I wouldn't just put it on my phone or something. I want to be the same with it's completely different, but the new Dark Crystal series on the Netflix thing. All my tattoos are Dark Crystal, but I still haven't watched. I've only watched 3 episodes, and I'm just saving it, and I have to be in the right mood because I love it so much, and I don't want to just rinse 10 episodes and then sort of consume it and churn it out in the back of my brain.
Savor it,
I'm savouring it.
Yeah,
I watch that one every month, basically.
Yeah, I wish I had that discipline when I had the series I'm into. But that Black Peach Stroke, yeah, that track is great. I absolutely loved it. I played on the show like 2 weeks ago, and I had like kind of strong like Mastodon vibes, and Mastodon was like one of my favorites.
Well, I like the fact that they do cross genres, but they do it in a really credible sounding way. I don't know if that's a correct quote for them, but and the fact that I know Will's been unwell in that, and I do very much wish him well. But yeah, he's got like 7 or 8 different voices. So I like that.
That's great.
It never gets stagnant.
Yeah.
They might even do a song I don't like. Like they probably have like a couple songs on the last 2 albums that I don't like, but I'm glad because they've tried something, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you
tried something different.
Yeah, you kind of appreciate them stepping out of their comfort zone or going a different direction, even if it isn't necessarily for you. Okay, and life.
But most of them I absolutely love. Just to clarify.
Yeah, Black Peas are awesome.
Sorry, boys. Yeah,
Sorry,
they are
boys.
amazing.
Do you prefer life on the road or life in the studio recording?
Life on the road.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, that's where I belong. It's one of the reasons I get pretty sad, like especially now when it's getting dark and cold. I belong there. It's all I've known.
Yeah.
Since I was a teenager, so it's hard for me that it's not as easy to tour as much as it was back then. I just like the whole routine of the day. I like the fact that everyone knows what they're doing. Every day's different. Every venue's different. All the people are different. You get to visit places you might not get to visit otherwise. Yeah. And then you go to bed and you do the whole thing again the next day. And it's a routine that I miss in my life at home. It's really hard for me at home, basically, and we're not in a studio for like 2 months without. I loved it back in the day when we were in residential studios and, eating and living there and just focusing solely on an album was quite cool. But that could be quite tedious and boring. And just the process of recording can be quite stressful. Like, it's a slow thing. There's a lot of waiting around whilst people are editing and or whatever. And sometimes I just want to like just do a live album and go bang, there you go, there's the end.
I imagine it's similar. Sorry, carry on.
Just live, like touring with the guys. I mean, there's ups and downs, obviously. I can be a pain. Everyone can be a pain, but we're family, basically out there, and we obviously keep doing it for a reason.
Yeah. When you're on the road, do you get like much time to kind of explore the cities and have a look around, or is it more like you kind of you kind of get to the town and have to do like promo work and then you have to get to the venue?
I tend to, even if it's just an hour, just to get out. Even if I know the city so well and I'm not seeing anything new, it's just good for the soul. But it depends on the routing, and if it's a short tour, there's going to be some horrible, like, I don't know, Bristol to Glasgow drive. So then it is a case of, you don't really see much. But you see a lot from out the window as well, like just on the road and going up through the Highlands and things like that, or even Yorkshire areas or whatever, down the south. Being on coastal areas is really nice. Basically, if you can, you do. And if you get a day off somewhere, then you definitely want to make the most of it and not just sit in the hotel room all day.
Yeah, well, that's great that you're moving to Brighton, then you'll be right on the coast. I
love it, It's good. It's good to be by the sea, and I've always lived in Essex all my life. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to properly moving here and calling it home.
Yeah, I'm happy for you. It sounds really good. That was I believe that's the end of the quickfire round, which might have been I think I went off on one. Yeah.
But
I think it might be one of the best quickfire rounds we've done. But
thank you.
The longest
just
one.
Go yes or no.
Yeah. Got
that one. Next.
So for your solo stuff, have you got any new music coming out? I know you just kind of touring the old InMe stuff, but are you writing new songs for just yourself?
No, I'm not. I really need to catch up on my life. And just focus on this InMe album as well. And there's bits and bobs that have popped up, but I'm just trying not to get ahead of myself. I've really got to catch up on quite a lot of life. So, and then it's nice for me to take a big break from it anyway, and then come back and hopefully come up with a fresher thing that's more wherever I'm at the time. I don't even know. I don't know. It doesn't have to be acoustic solo. It could be a pop album. Who knows?
No, I'm sure it'd be great. And I guess we should wrap. I've just seen the time. Wow. I feel bad because I've taken up a lot of your time, probably more than I was allowed to.
That's absolutely fine. I don't do the whole allowance thing.
Yeah. But you guys, Jumpstart Hope's coming out at the beginning of next year in January. Hope you've got your UK tour. The dates to look out for London is the 26th of January. You're playing Boston Music Rooms. Mm-hmm. And also your solo tour at the moment, I think you're playing Stains, am I correct?
Yeah, I'm going to put a London show in there as well. But yes, Stains in December at the London... I'm terrible at this. It's called the London Stone or something like that. It's some cool name that has evaded my brain. But all over. But yeah, it's an ongoing thing. This was the first chapter of the idea. I'll probably keep it going for like a year. It just keeps me busy outside of the band, and I've got a job now as well that I'm hopefully going to be doing pretty soon for the NHS.
You have a very kind of interesting ideas for your solo stuff, because the Dream Wars is fascinating. Because did you write, like wake up in the morning and write down your dreams and then write songs based on the dreams?
Yeah, and then some of it was just based on real stuff in my life. But I also wanted it to be a dreamy album, so it's sort of very based on... I remember watching sort of the old Disney animated stuff, even the Christmas things, my grandparents sent. So I just sort of took that attitude towards the program and orchestration I was working on, and making stuff sound a bit more theatrical and larger than life. But not like a musical. But I did do that, and it was quite strange. I didn't name anyone. Like, you have some weird dreams where you're like, why was I on a roller coaster with him, and then why did someone throw, I don't know, petals at us and fried eggs or whatever? It's
Well,
but
I actually.
Sorry,
Karen. No, sorry, Karen. My point is very mundane.
So was mine. I can't
well, my point was I actually woke up and I had this dream, and it was memorable because it was literally the most boring dream imaginable. I was in the supermarket and I was queuing for the checkout with my bags, and it was the longest queue. It just wasn't moving, and I asked the person in front, I was like, we've been queuing for quite a while. She's like, yeah. And then that was it. The dream was just like queuing what felt like 3 hours in the dream. And then I never think I left. But
I had one the other day, which was sort of, just like that on the whole boring front.
Yeah.
It was sorry, I'm just walking through the place. I decided I didn't want a white T-shirt, so I got a black Sharpie and coloured the whole thing in. But it was like very realistic. Yeah. I was literally just colouring in a white T-shirt with a black Sharpie for about 5 minutes. No, well, however long it takes in a dream. Yeah. Forever.
Mine felt like hours and hours, and then I woke up to, why didn't I just leave? But then I feel like I invested too much time in the queuing. Couldn't go out.
Yeah. How long was the queue, or was it just they were just messing? Who knows? It was a dream.
It was a dream, but who knows what it meant? But yeah, I don't know how we got into this topic. Actually, that reminds me. Dreamwise. Oh yeah, and you had a video for one of your tracks of Dreamwise, which was like a T-shirt with Sharpie the lyrics. So that kind of links back to your dream.
That was.
Or am I wrong?
Actually, a different album. That was Living a Life Without the F.
Ah, okay.
And then, that took a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just sort of copied the chorus eventually. We didn't do two T-shirts for that. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got two T-shirts.
That was fun. That was with my friend Hadley Ford. And we just went around this place called Whittam I was living in at the time. Just to like nice areas, and then, But it was just DIY fun videos.
Cool. One more question before I have to wrap this up. Trilogy. Are you ever going to come back to that? Because I know Dawn was part 1 and you had part 2 and 3. Are you going to come back at any point?
Not with the band, no.
Okay.
It's it was because we sort of became a new band as well. We didn't want to limit ourselves, like the first album back with our new drummer, doing an album that was supposed to be quite mellow. Yeah. We wanted to just do an all-rounder, and I think the guys went off the concept after a while, which is fair enough. But I'm still going to probably finish it.
Yeah.
Because I've got so many demos and things for it.
Yeah.
But not until we've got Jumpstart Hope done, the campaign out of the way.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, Dave, thank you so much for your time.
No worries.
We're going to check out Jumpstart Hope on the tour and the album in January. We're going to put on I Swear just after this. Thanks so much for your time.
All right, man. No worries. Thank you. It's lovely to talk.
That was my chat with Dave McPherson from InMe. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to throw it over to their brand new song, I Swear, coming off their forthcoming album, Jumpstart Hope, out early next year. It goes like this.
That was my chat with Dave McPherson from InMe. That was, I really enjoyed that. It was good to listen back. If you guys haven't checked out Jumpstart Hope, which came out at the beginning of the year, go check it out. Incredible album. They never disappoint. They have set a very high benchmark for every album, and it's fantastic. So go check that out. You can follow Rockology Hour on the socials, at Rockology Hour on Twitter, Instagram, Rockology Hour Radio Show on Facebook. For this podcast, please do like, share, and subscribe, and follow, and tell a mate. It's like, I've heard this new rock music podcast. It's really good. Share it. Share it to a like-minded mate. Help grow this bad boy. And also, follow InMe Official on the handles if you want to follow InMe on all their goings on. Fantastic band. One of the most underrated bands on the British scene, I think, in the last kind of 20 years. So really cool to have Dave on the show. So thanks again for his time. If you're super keen to hear the newest interviews before they come on Rockology Hour Interviews, then you can listen to Rockology Hour, the radio show on Riverside Radio, every Thursday at 8 p.m. for your alternative music fix. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. Have a great week and enjoy the sunshine. I'll see you soon.
Rockology Hour Interviews.